What's up YouTube, it's Matthew here and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to tell you all what are the next steps after you get a wholesale real estate contract signed. So I recently got a wholesale real estate contract signed. Actually, this is just a HUD statement, but I'm using it for display purposes. But I recently got a wholesale real estate contract signed through DocuSign electronically and an assignment on contract sign for my cash buyer. And I get a lot of questions from you all on what do I do next? You know, how do I deal with the title company? What happens next? Do I just give it to them and just forget about everything? What are the next steps after that? Or do I wait until I find a buyer, until I bring the contracts to the title company? So in today's video, we're going to go over all that. All right, you all. So before we go on, like this video, just smash that like button right now. All right, you all. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. And then once again, you all, if you're interested in learning how to wholesale real estate step by step, you know, sometimes on YouTube, the videos are all over the place. But if you want a nice, concise platform, step by step on how to wholesale real estate, check my wholesale real estate course online, link down below, where I teach you step by step how to wholesale real estate. And when you're ready for the next step, you can sign up for the full package mentorship program where you get mentored by me. But check out the course first. It's only $497 if you're interested. Yeah, recently I got a wholesale real estate contract signed. I'll go in more details more. I'm actually closing on the property today. Which is tomorrow for me, but this video comes out on Friday. So hopefully I already have my check and everything. And I'll go in more detail step by step on how I found that deal, how I find a cash buyer and different things like that. I kind of hinted at that already. So if you all been watching my previous videos, I actually been documenting this very exact deal. I have a video about how I got a contract signed, and I show you all the exact text receipts about it. So that is very vital for you all to learn what to say to a motivated seller, right? And then I have a video about how I found a cash buyer for this deal just using Facebook Marketplace. So take a look at those videos. I'll link them somewhere on this video or down below. So be sure to watch those videos. And now I'm going to talk about, okay, you have a contract signed. What do you do next? Boom. So number one, let's just say you talk with the seller, you all agree upon a price and you get a contract signed. Do you wait until you have a buyer first, then you send the contracts over to the title company? Or do you just send that contract over to the title company? So let's just go the first route. I prefer, you know, you not wasting the title company's time and just have all these contracts signed but not closing any deals with them, that you wait until you have both contracts signed and then send them to the title company. But you know, I know in the beginning stages, and sometimes you just want to get a title search done to make sure the seller is actually telling the truth about their specific property, right? So let's say you send it over to the title company. Now, your next step after that is to find a cash buyer, obviously. And while the contract is at the title company, they may ask different questions. Hey, we found this on the title search about probate or about a tax lien. Is the seller aware of this? Different things like that. And I have tons of videos on how to find a wholesaler-friendly title company, so be sure to look at that. I know some title companies may charge you some money for a title search, even before, especially before if you have a cash buyer, they may charge for that fee because, you know, they're just not going to do that for fun because they have other closings to deal with and different things like that. So be sure you talk with your closing agent about that. But yeah, that's the next step if you want to go that route, of just sending that agreement between you and the seller first to the title company. All it is that you have to find a cash buyer, and you just respond to the title company if they have any questions about the property. Now, let's say you have both contracts signed. So we have the purchase and sales agreement between you and the seller, and then you have the assignment on contract between you and the buyer. Found your buyer, maybe Facebook Marketplace, maybe Craigslist, maybe just blasting it out to your cash buyers list. They viewed the property and boom, they like the deal and you guys agreed upon a price. So what do you do next with those two contracts? It's the same step. You send that over to the title company, right? Once you send that over to the title company, they will do their search. They will get in contact, of course, with the seller and the buyer, just make sure everything is right. If the buyer's not in the system yet, they still need their like ID credentials and different things like that. I know some title companies, like they usually would ask me for my driver's license, like a copy of it, just so they can have it on file and different things like that. So once it's at the title company, if everything is clean, the title company should be able to do the rest of the work. They will set a closing date. They will do the title search. They will contact the seller if they have any questions, or the buyer. But since you are the middle man, middle woman, you're kind of like the mediator. So the title company may reach out to you for different things. So for example, with this specific deal I have, this property actually went through probate. So the son inherited the property from his dad passing away. And so with that, they asked me for different questions. Hey, what's the attorney's name who dealt with the title company? I was able to send that. They asked for like 10-care release, which is basically medical releases from the father and different things like that. They researched the will that the dad had. They asked me for like the social security number of the dad that passed away, and different things like that. And so those would be some of the questions they may ask you, and you just have to contact the seller, just get that information, then email it back to the title company, and it should all be good, right? And so your situation may be different. It may be a tax delinquent. It may just be a high equity property, and you don't have any issues that you need to go back to the seller with. And so that's basically it. From the time from getting a contract signed to sending it to the title company, once everything is cleared, once they alleviate all the issues and problems, the title company will set a closing date. And hopefully your title company can work fast on things. I'm working with a great title company here in the area. I market in Chattanooga, and they're just on top of things. Like, I never dealt with a title company who are just on top of things, can set an appointment just like that for me, which is crazy. And so, they keep me up to date to everything, and they say, okay, when's a good time for you, the seller, and the buyer? So that's next. After everything is cleared with the title company, they ask you, when's a good time? So I contact the seller and buyer. I want to get my check as soon as possible, right? So I say, hey, let's do it for tomorrow, right? But I have to get with the seller and buyer to make sure that's a convenient time for them. With this particular deal, at the time, my buyer was on vacation in Florida. My seller couldn't take time off yet. So we ended up, like, after everything was clear with the title, we had to schedule out closing a week and a half later. And so that's not bad at all, because it's still like a good 15 days before like the closing date on the actual contract. So that's another thing. If you have a closing date on the contract, on my contracts I put on or before, and I have a great video on wholesale contracts with links of my contracts in the description. I'll put them down here below, but the video just breaks down how I fill out a contract and different things like that. So once you set a closing date, the seller and the buyer can meet. You don't have to be there as a wholesaler unless it's your first deal and you just want to experience everything. You can go ahead and go to the closing, but now I don't, and so I just come to the title company later to get my check. Actually, for this deal, they said, hey, do you want this wired or picked up? But I say I want to pick it up because Lord willing, this is my biggest wholesale deal to date, so I can't wait to share that with you all next week. So once closing done, you get your check, you just deposit it in your bank, and you keep on following up with your other leads. You keep on marketing. You allocate that money wherever you need to, and then that's pretty much it. So after the contract is signed, basically it goes to the title company. They will ask you questions about information they may need from the seller or buyer, or the title company may just go directly to the seller or buyer for those questions, depending on your title company. If you don't have both contracts signed, then you have to obviously find a cash buyer so you can assign the property to, show the property to, and just get it closed. And I have videos on how to find cash buyers using PropStream, using Facebook Marketplace, and Craigslist, and different things like that. So scroll through my channel and you'll see some videos about that. And so they'll set a closing date once all title is clear. There's no major title issue. If there were, once they solve them, they'll set a closing date, you pick up your check, or they just wire you the funds to your bank account. So that's basically the gist of what happens after you get a wholesale real estate contract signed. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Once again, smash that like button. And if you all are interested in Wholesale Deals Academy, the online course, link down below, check it out. I put a lot of time and effort into it. And then when you all are ready for me to actually coach you, which is a larger investment, you can apply and we can book a call. I can kind of see what you're looking for and see if the program aligns to that, and then go from there. All right, you all. Hope you all have a great day, and I'll talk to you all later.